Hi, I'm Tony Vandemore, Bass Pro and Cabela's ambassador. I grew up in Illinois, and my dad and grandpa and uncles took me to duck blind when I was in diapers for the first time. I mean, it's really, honestly, all I've ever known. To be able to do it, you know, for a living now and do it every day is, I mean, I couldn't ask for anything more. It's been a dream come true. So this area has always been very good for waterfowl. It's called the Golden Triangle. There's 3 major refuges right here. When we buy a farm, we're not looking at it for what it is then. We're looking at it for what we can make it become. The number of waterfowl that stops right here in this area is kind of mind-boggling. I mean, several 100,000 ducks and geese throughout the year. What makes it kind of unique, at least to me, is we get our ducks early. We get them by the calendar. The first ducks that come, you know, I think they're raised in the Dakotas, and they start putting a little pressure on them there. And they jump straight down to here. I wouldn't say Iowa's a flyover state, but it doesn't have the refuge system that Missouri does. And having the refuge system and the intensively managed private grounds around here really makes it a magnet for waterfowl. And pressure management's a huge deal, you know. And you can rest stuff and only hunt it every 3rd or 4th day. That's a big deal, and that it really reflects in the quality of hunting. My favorite blind here it's called Love Lake. I hunt it almost every day in the fall. What makes it so much fun for me is that it's purely traffic. I mean, you'll never kick a duck off of it. You might see a wood duck on it occasionally, but it's right between the refuge and where they're going to feed, so it's just lots of ducks getting over you, loud calling, decoys. I mean, you're making them come somewhere that they don't want to be. And to me, that's a fun hunt. You know, in order to flood this stuff, it's year-round work. I mean, like the wetlands, for example, they're wetlands for a reason. They stay wet. But you're trying to control the non-desirable plants and promote the good natural growth. So this is one of the areas that we flood. On the south end, we've got a big wetland unit, natural moist soil, millet, smartweed. And then up here in the ag units, we typically strip it, soybeans and corn. And what we'll do when the soybeans mature, we'll cut the beans and then we'll flood it. The corn will stay. The bean strips are nice and open. That, you know, ducks will come in and land in there and then swim out into the corn. And that horizontal cover actually really does great to promote invertebrate blooms and bugs. And the ducks use that as a food source a lot as well. I'm a father. I've got 2 daughters, and they come with me every weekend. And I'm blessed to be able to bring them along. All of us here at Habitat Flats have kids that we take hunting. And that's a big part of it, you know. Not everybody has the opportunity that we did when we were younger. I mean, that's just kind of how I grew up. My dad, my uncles, my grandfather. I mean, since I was in diapers, they were taking me to a duck blind. But not everybody has that opportunity. When we see people, you know, bring a kid with them that's never been out before, or we have a youth hunt and see somebody that's never been before, it's just a duty for all of us to give back, and that's the next generation. You know, they say hunter numbers are declining, so it's everybody's job to get more kids involved. So I've been on a lot of good hunts through the years. I think the one that sticks out the most, and it's also one of the most recent, was my daughter Vivian shooting her first greenhead last fall. It was priceless. She'd wanted one for a couple years. The greenhead had eluded her, and it was actually the last day of season last year. We had a couple of opportunities that didn't work out, and then finally it happened, and it was cool as a parent to watch. I mean, it was like, oh my God, this is neat. But for her to see it was something that she wanted so bad, she started tearing up and crying, just like the weight of the world was off her shoulders. She finally got her unicorn greenhead, and man, as a parent, as a dad, that was the coolest hunt I've been on in my life. This here is Dash. This is actually my daughter's dog. She wanted a yellow male. Old Ruff is buried back here. I see him about every day I come hunting. His headstone's just right over there. Dogs have always been a huge thing for us, and our hunting dogs are very special. I mean, some of those early ones, Ruff and Sadie, I mean, they helped shape, you know, Habitat Flats today, and now we also have Habitat Flats kennels that we started in 2021. My old dog, and probably also the saddest, was his last retrieve. And basically just took him with that afternoon to sit by a tree and just kind of watch one last hunt before I had to put him down. And lucky enough, you know, a duck fell not too far out there and he somehow got up and went out and got it. Something I'll never forget. Well, come on in, check out the lodge. This is the main area, and it's really cool. We got a big kitchen, dining area where we sit down. The custom bar is incredible. And then there's two 90-inch TVs, stone fireplace in here. But what's really neat is this oak tree. It's actually all metal. One of our partners had it made, and it's not totally done yet. There's more branches and leaves coming out, and 5 metal sculptured ducks that are gonna be coming through the trees. Just a really cool signature piece. Everything was from local, and that's really cool. So being a partner with Bass Pro and Cabela's is, I mean, it's pretty neat, man. I used to look forward to getting the big catalog in the mail every year, and I'd have a pen and I'd circle all these things, and they don't have it anymore. I mean, you got online and all that, but in the middle of those catalogs is the big order form. And man, I used to just fill that thing out knowing I wasn't ever gonna get to buy any of it, but just to be able to see that every year, I mean, it just made you so excited for fall. When I was a kid, I mean, I had my bag packed by the 1st of May. I mean, shells are in it, all my calls, everything, and the summer just lasted forever. But the cool thing about being able to do this for a living and farm and manage properties, it's made my 60-day duck season 365 days a year. I mean, I'm thinking about ducks every single day.